What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and talk about what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to talk about what Twitter just did involving Elon Musk and how this may affect the market going forward. I'm also going to talk about something huge that NIO just did, as they have built their 900th battery swap station. That's going to be absolutely incredible for the future of this company and also their market going forward. I'm also going to break down what they put on their Twitter page that makes me very, very bullish before I give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow and talk about where I see the share price going. Now, before I break any of this down and get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, but it's the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the WeBull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for WeBull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You're guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. Once again, that's free money, and you could always sell those 5 free stocks for cash and buy some NIO shares for free with that money. This is a limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks, so please check it out to get your free NIO shares. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, right now things are not looking too bad. We did have a bit of a green day of 0.76%, which is pretty well for them considering the fact that Tesla was in the red. And I do think that the chart is looking a little bit bullish actually now going into the next few days. I'm going to show you guys exactly why. So right now, looking at Twitter just accepted Elon Musk's buyout deal. That's huge news for the market going forward, for the company as a whole, because Elon Musk will essentially turn the company private, and by doing that, it not only gives him control, but it allows him to make the changes he wants to make a lot more efficiently and quickly. He ended up buying the company at $54.20 a share to get that 420 right here. He bought it at that price so that he could end up purchasing the entire company for about $43 billion. And this in turn is his way of kind of, how should I say, advocating for free speech. And because of that, it did lead to a bit of a drop in the market temporarily. But right now, I think we've essentially settled past that. Now, I want to talk about this for tomorrow. We have Microsoft and Alphabet, which is essentially Google. They have their earnings report coming out, and this is going to be big for us because the estimated earnings per share is $2.19. And as a result of that, we could get a nice bounce for the market by Wednesday. Now, for tomorrow, what am I seeing for NIO? Well, right now, NIO is doing quite well right now, and I do believe that we're about to form another inverse head and shoulder, because if you zoom out of the charts, you could see there were many instances where we formed similar moves, just like this one right here. We have this shoulder that formed, the head and another shoulder. We didn't get that nice push up though because we were very bearish at that time. But because of the fact that the Fed is in that blackout period phase, it's not looking too bad. In fact, I think it's looking a lot better, because if you bring up the 1-day chart, if I show you guys the 1-minute candles, NIO pushed today. They did pretty darn well. I mean, we got this gap. We essentially gapped down to $16.19. Then we started to push to the upside, and we filled the gap on the way up. And after that, we continued to just try pushing up. I mean, we did pretty well. If you compare it to where we ran up above that 200 moving average, we actually held above it for a lot of the time. We're looking a lot better. So from the way I see this, there was that big drop right here. This had to do with Twitter. The whole Twitter purchase of Elon Musk did cause the market to take a bit of a hit initially, but then we recovered quite quickly. Things are okay. I don't think it's going to just be on the news or like be a major market mover for the remainder of the week. I think we already knew about this, so it wasn't the biggest surprise. What I think is going to happen is this. When I bring up the macro perspective, right? I'm seeing this. I don't know. Okay, my prediction is not going to be too perfect for just a day-to-day basis, but I do think that the market's going to be bullish by probably Wednesday or Thursday. We should get a nice bounce, and I do think NIO is going to be a part of that, because if you look at the SPY, you could see the SPY was just oversold from the 2-hour perspective, dropping. We got a nice bounce right here. We got that bounce off 418, which is essentially that 420 range. 420 is where the SPY wanted to get its bounce. We got that. And generally what happens is the SPY forms these like W patterns, kind of like this. And then we push up after that. So I do think the SPY is going to start pushing up a little bit. Going to the QQQ, I have the QQQ right here. The QQQ, very similar. Push down, bounce, drop, bounce. Just like that. So a lot of tech stocks acted very similarly. Now, what about Tesla? Big drop, push up. We got a nice run up during its earnings, drop down. We're probably going to push up later. And then when it comes to NIO, similar move. We've been pushed down very hard, but I think we have a gap. We have a gap fill around $19. Am I mistaken? Let me double check. Yeah, I think we have a gap fill somewhere here. Let me use the 5-minute candles just to try to find it. There's a gap up here somewhere if I could locate it. But I do see this gap that's like right here, all the way up to 1946. I see that gap getting filled within the next few weeks. So what formation do I see for tomorrow? You can see NIO pushed up to that 1829 range a few days ago. We got pushed down, we dropped hard, then we pushed up. What does this look like? An inverse head and shoulders. Once again, NIO forms these all the time. So I think what happened is we were trading below this range. We got pushed down, and now we're forming the second shoulder, and we're going to push up. And I think we're set to push up to that higher $17 range, and I think that's where we're going for tomorrow. So 1776 is going to be a key level of resistance. I do think that it's going to kind of cause us to trade a little bit sideways, some volatility, but I do think we're slowly stair-stepping our way up from here on out. As I mentioned before, we have a lot of earnings coming out. These could be big for NIO, big for the markets, so keep an eye on that. So for my prediction, this is what I'm going to say. I can't promise this, right? Don't take my predictions as financial advice. There have been plenty of times where I'm wrong. But from what I'm seeing, if you look at the MACD, look at the RSI, I like to use these two indicators. You could see the MACD trading sideways, but we're starting to ascend. We got some good price action right here before we start to trade a little bit sideways, which is a good indicator. And then the RSI looks a little bit better too. It's not loading. Once this loads, the RSI, from what I remember, looked a lot better because you could see we had this big drop. I don't know why it's not loading, but anyways, you understand my point. The RSI definitely picked up after we hit that $16.19 range. Got a nice bounce off of that. So things are looking much, much better for us, in my opinion. I do think that this is going to be our bounce, and I expect this thing to start trading in that high $17 range going into the future. And I apologize. I don't know why the RSI didn't load up, but I'm sure you guys understand my point. It looks a little bit more bullish than bearish, and I do think that we're going to actually get a nice push right here. And by Tuesday, we could be trading that $18 range. So for tomorrow, be on the lookout for that 1776 range, and we could get pushed all the way up to the 18 range by, I would say, by Wednesday. It's very, very possible. So be on the lookout for that. Anyways, when it comes to other big pieces of news, as I stated before, NIO has built their 900th battery swap station. Let's go. And their goal for 2022 is to add a few hundred more. Absolutely incredible for their business model. And also for China, they plan to install over 4,000 stations by the end of 2025. And that includes over 1,000 outside of China, right? Incredible news, in my opinion. Their goal for the end of 2022 is 1,300, and I do believe they're on track to meeting that goal. So very amazing news as this company is getting bigger. A lot of investors, a lot of people that are like the company, a lot of people that drive these cars love this technology as it's very convenient, and it's just an incredible, incredible move that they're making. Articles are now coming out stating 2 reasons to be bullish on NIO stock. And I'm not trying to say that you should depend on these articles as they tend to be biased, but the thing is, the production halt was temporary. They're getting right back in. They're getting ready to improve their delivery numbers. Still incredible news. And I do think the company should really be picking up by the time we get to the later quarters of this year. And also, NIO did have some price hikes, right? But they're not the only one that did that. As raw materials and commodity prices are going up, Tesla did it, so did Lucid, I think so did Xpeng. So a lot of companies, they're starting to do this as the price of lithium is going up and other commodities. But for the long term, it does not matter because as supply chain issues and inflation is an issue, they're going to power through it. They're going to continue to grow if you're patient and give the company time, because I see them making a historic comeback. On top of that, the last thing I want to talk about is on March 28th, 2022, NIO starts to deliver the ET7, and they're still doing it. The ET7 is a fantastic car. This is just another very good catalyst for them. I can't wait for the ET5. For me, the company is just growing and growing and growing. They're expanding to other countries. The business model is improving. The short thesis is getting destroyed, and I'm still incredibly bullish for the long term. With that all said and done and out of the way, I want to thank you all for listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, and peace out.